We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace.
Live from Michigan Avenue, this is Good Day Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Chicago. I'm Gabriela Primus.
I'm Brian Jackson. Here's a look at some of the top stories we're following this morning.
The battle over proposed Amazon data center continues as a lawsuit is now filed by a group of people against the project.
Bad Bunny put on an electric halftime show. We'll explain the local connection viewers may have noticed during his performance.
And taking a live look outside, get ready for some warmer temperatures for the Chicago area. Finally, I will say, you two, that the weather in Santa Clara last night looked mighty fine.
California is pretty nice.
Anything like that, Mike? Any sunshine at least?
Well, don't go for California weather.
Yeah.
Maybe just let's settle for a week with every day warmer than normal. How about
We'll take that.
Let's take that. Out there right now, skies are clear to mostly cloudy. Kind of depends on where you are. Farther west you are, the clearer the skies are. But we're all going to get some sunshine in here. And temperatures, I think, can get to around 40 degrees for the high. 9 o'clock, you still want the coats on. It's 26 degrees. There'll be some sunshine at noon and definitely thawing during the afternoon. We'll be just off our high for the day at 4 o'clock with a 39. Current temperatures, we're in the 20s. 24 at O'Hare, Lakefront Midway, 23 at Woodstock, 23 at Gary, 20 at Valparaiso. But I think today we're headed up to 40 this afternoon. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Well, a lawsuit is filed to block the city of Hobart, Indiana, from moving forward with the proposed Amazon data center.
Yeah, this comes after a heated meeting last Thursday. Last week, the Hobart Plan Commission approved the permit for Amazon to build the data center. But the group No Data Centers Hobart, Indiana, says the city council violated state law by skipping some key steps before that approval. Amazon told the city it expects to bring more than 400 permanent full-time jobs to the area with an average pay to $37 to $44 an hour. Plenty of residents have been speaking out against the proposed data center.
This stuff does not happen quickly unless, people are being paid to make sure it happens quickly.
It's hard to remain objective when you've already received that money up front.
If you go forward with this data center, you're going to get a mass exodus.
Everyone's angry. This will be your guys' last terms if you do not vote with us.
The issue of whether Hobart can move forward with the permit will go before a Lake County judge this Wednesday.
Investigators were seen searching a septic tank on the Arizona property belonging to Nancy Guthrie. It's been a week since the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie was reported missing by her family. 2 marked sheriff's cars and another vehicle arrived at Nancy Guthrie's house around midday on Sunday. At least 2 people went to the back of the home for more than 20 minutes before leaving without comment. According to some reports, the potential kidnappers are demanding $6 million for Nancy Guthrie's return. Over the weekend, Savannah and her siblings released another video on social media saying that they were ready to pay.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Reports also say that the kidnappers gave the family until 6 p.m. Central Time today as a deadline.
A man accused of murdering a woman and her 4-year-old son in Joliet is out of the hospital. He's identified as Joseph D. Johnson. He's now at the Will County Adult Detention Facility. Johnson is accused of shooting and killing Jocelyn Diaz-Garcia and her 4-year-old son at their home on January 25th. Police say Johnson shot himself in the ankle. He's now facing first-degree murder charges.
The Department of Homeland Security is set to run out of money on Friday if lawmakers do not pass a new funding deal. Negotiations will continue this week as Democrats are demanding changes to ICE and Border Patrol before they'll support any spending plan for DHS. They also want for ICE agents to not wear masks and for agents to get legal warrants from a judge. Some Republicans have demands as well.
What we are trying to do is to sit down with the Republicans and say, agree on the basics. Hold ICE to the same standards as every professional police department in America.
The #1 reform that we need are no more sanctuary cities and to have local leaders cooperate with federal officials.
The One Big Beautiful bill funded ICE through 2029. Be it DHS shutdown means the TSA employees wouldn't get paid. It would also interrupt FEMA recovery efforts. Well, the stars certainly came out for this year's Super Bowl halftime show.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. It was great.
I liked it too. Yeah, in case you live under a rock, Bad Bunny was a headliner and didn't hold anything back. So he performed several of his popular songs and was joined by other singers such as Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. Bad Bunny has been known to speak out against his political issues, and he had a couple of messages during the halftime show. He criticized Puerto Rico's main utility company. He also shared a message of unity for everyone to see at the end of his performance.
God bless America. Sea Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Perú, Ecuador, Brasil, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Panamá, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, México, Cuba, República Dominicana, Jamaica, Haití, las Antillas, United States, Canadá, a my motherland, mi patria, Puerto Rico. Seguimos aquí.
Once he shared his message, he left the field through one of the tunnels. Other videos online show the band continued to perform outside of the stadium.
And remember part of the halftime show where you kind of see this conductor with the violinist? Well, he actually has ties here to the Chicago area. Juan Carlo Guerrero is the artistic director and principal conductor for the Grant Park Music Festival. He's the first classical musician to be featured in a halftime show since Gustavo Dudamo's appearance with Yola in 2016.
Awesome.
As for the game itself, I think the halftime show was more exciting than the game.
Yeah,
right? Pretty much.
I was out after the first half, pretty much. Mike, what do you think?
Well, look, it was 9-0 at halftime. It was a defensive game, and I'm glad that I liked Seattle laying the points on this one because they definitely dominated. The Seattle Seahawks made it difficult for Drake May and that New England offense to score any kind of points in the game, and that trend continued until the end when the Seahawks became victorious and won Super Bowl 60. Let's go to the third quarter of the game. Seahawks up by 12. Drake May is sacked by Derek Hall, and the ball comes out. Byron Murphy recovers it. It's the first turnover of the game. Fourth quarter, same score. You're going to see Sam Darnold. Yeah, they're happy about that recovery there. Okay, here we go. Sam Darnold's going to find A.J. Barner. He's open in the end zone. That's a 16-yard score. Seahawks now are up 19-0. The game's pretty much over. Later in the fourth, Drake May does connect with Mac Hollins for a 35-yard touchdown. This is a pretty pass here. Dropped in that dime. There you go. That would cut the score to 19-7. But the Seahawks defense just didn't let up. Under 5 minutes left in the game. May's going to get hit by Devon Witherspoon. The ball comes out, and Uchenna Nwosu returns it 45 yards for the score. Seattle goes on to win 29-13, their second Lombardi Trophy in franchise history.
And I think, for me, it's just, and I said this, in the Monday interviews that we did, but I've taken it day by day, throughout my entire career, and it's gotten me to this point. And that's really all I can say about that. But it's because of the guys in the locker room, because of our coaching staff working their butts off every single day. That's why we're all here.
Yeah, it's hurt. No doubt. It definitely hurts. It's been a long ride. They played better than us tonight. They deserve to win that game. And speaking for the whole team and myself, just what a journey it's been for us. I love this team, love those guys in the locker room, and we'll leave it all on the field. And I know a lot of guys did that tonight and just came up short, didn't play.
All right. Also in the NFL, the Bears. They found a new offensive coordinator. Reports say the team is promoting Press Taylor to OC. He's been serving as the Bears' passing game coordinator. He has had experience as an OC with the Jaguars before joining the Bears. Keep in mind, Ben Johnson is still going to call the plays on offense. Here's a look at today's schedule. Not a whole lot going on. We've got the Bulls taking on the Nets in Brooklyn this evening. Tip-off is set for 6:30. Now, on to the weather, which for a lot of us is an improvement. I know some of you love the cold and the snow. You've had it. You've had your time. Now it is time to see a little bit of a turnaround. It's still cold out there now. We got 20 at Aurora, 22 at Woodstock, 20 at Chicago Heights, 24 at Midway. Northwest Indiana, low 20s for you, 20 at Valparaiso. Maryville, 22 degrees. Not a lot lot of wind out there. Wind chills are basically in the teens. But look where we're headed for highs today. I think most of Chicagoland can at least tag 40, maybe a little bit warmer southwest. You get into Grundy and LaSalle County. I think you could get to maybe the mid-40s, perhaps a few degrees cooler far north into northwest Indiana, but everywhere seeing a nice bump in temperatures. Precipitation-wise, it's going to be a pretty quiet week around here. Very few opportunities for precip today. Mixture of clouds and sun, and a lot of the cloud cover that we have later today going to be the high thin variety, so we'll get some sunshine through there. During the night, it'll be mostly cloudy. During the day tomorrow, a cold front comes through here. The air isn't that cold associated with it, but we will knock temperatures down a couple of degrees. We'll go from low 40s tomorrow into the upper 30s here later this week. All of those days, though, still warmer than normal. And as you can see, right on into Wednesday, no precipitation in the area at all. We're going to stay dry here for most of the week. Just a couple of minor chances for precip. Partly sunny and milder. High of 40 degrees today. Tonight, dropping only to 34. That's a normal high this time of year under a mostly cloudy sky. Every single day, warmer than normal. Tiny chance of a flurry or snow shower Thursday, but we'll hit 38 degrees. Over the weekend, maybe a little rain or snow shower Saturday night, but not a big deal. I think Valentine's Day is pretty nice, but a high of 40. Back to you.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, coming up on Good Day, there's officially a new Archbishop of New York.
We'll take you inside the ceremony for Bishop Ronald Hicks when we come back. Here's a look at our top stories. A lawsuit is filed to block the city of Hobart, Indiana, from moving forward with the proposed Amazon data center. The group No Data Centers Hobart, Indiana, argues city council violated state law by skipping some key steps before approving the plan.
The Department of Homeland Security is set to run out of money later this week if lawmakers do not pass any funding deal. Democrats are demanding changes to ICE and Border Patrol before they will support any spending plan for DHS. They also want for ICE agents to not wear masks and for agents to get legal warrants from a judge.
The Seattle Seahawks win their second Super Bowl in franchise history. The Patriots often struggled throughout the game against the Seahawks' tough defense. The first touchdown of the game didn't happen until the fourth quarter.
A new file showed that the FBI has concluded that Jeffrey Epstein was not running a sex trafficking ring for powerful men. The agency has spent years interviewing his victims and examining his connections to some of the world's most influential people. While investigators collected enough proof that Epstein sexually abused underage girls, they found little evidence that he led a sex trafficking ring for powerful men. According to a 2025 memo written by a prosecutor, videos and photos taken from his homes in New York and Florida and the Virgin Islands did not depict victims being abused or implicate anyone else in his crimes.
Lindsey Vohn's courageous comeback from a knee ligament tear unfortunately came to an end Sunday at the 2026 Winter Olympics. Just 13 seconds into her run, she caught her arm in the gate, which twisted her body, leaving her violently tumbling down the course. And when she came to stop, she could be heard screaming in agony. Poor thing. She was flown off the mountain to a medical center you see here. The U.S. Olympic ski team says she's stable and in good hands. She's had several big crashes in her career, but her love for ski racing couldn't slow her down.
Such a huge loss and bummer. I feel like hearing her story and just like the redemption of her first fall and like fighting to come back to the Olympics this year, I feel so sad for her.
Now remember, this all comes after Vohn ruptured her ACL in her left knee in Crans-Montana. Man.
Well, Chicago native and former Joliet Bishop Ronald Hicks officially becomes the leader of the largest Catholic archdiocese in the nation. Some 2,000 people, including cardinals, bishops, priests, and others, all came together to witness the peaceful transfer of spiritual powers. Hicks grew up in the neighboring town of Pope Leo XIV, who handpicked him for this position. Now, this is the message that Hicks had for everyone who attended the ceremony.
Church exists to proclaim Jesus Christ and the gospel to everyone, publicly and credibly, without fear, in every culture and circumstance. A church that upholds human dignity in every way possible.
Hicks is replacing the retiring Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who served as the Archbishop of New York for about 17 years.
All right, I want you all to get close to your TV screen here because take a look at this. It's a timeless video, and it was sent to us by a viewer who recently drove a ship tanker through Lake Michigan. So he says he took a Canadian flagship known as the Algoberta from Sarnia, Ontario to Milwaukee.
I see nothing but snow out there, man.
Right?
Or ice.
That's ice.
Cutting, cutting right through the ice.
Yeah.
That would be terrifying.
That's cool, though. Isn't that neat?
It is.
Wow. There is online another cool view from satellite. Lake Erie is almost completely covered in ice. It's a much shallower lake, so it gets covered with ice. And a huge crack that goes almost from one end of the lake to the other has just developed. Look up that online, you folks that are interested in that. Look up the Lake Erie ice crack. It is very, very cool. Here, we're going to be melting some ice and snow, finally. Getting the kids to the bus stop, though, this morning. Make sure they're dressed for some chilly temperatures. It's in the 20s this morning. I think that ride home, for a lot of kids, it's going to be right around 40 degrees with a mixture of clouds and sunshine out there. So things are going to get a little bit damp around here. You can kind of see how skies are trying to clear out from northwest to southeast. There will be some high clouds coming into our sky here today. That's why I can't go with a full-on sunny forecast, but let's call it partly sunny. High temperature 40 degrees, south winds at 5 to 15. It'll likely be a little bit less warm in northwest Indiana and the far northern suburbs. It'll be a few degrees warmer as you get southwest of the city. Tonight, temperatures stay above freezing. Mostly cloudy with a low of 34. We'll hit 42 tomorrow. Then temperatures back off just a little bit, but still warmer than normal. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. No big storms in sight. We'll watch a system I think is going to miss us largely to the south over the weekend. May have a little bit of light rain or some wet snow Saturday night, but nothing that's going to prevent you from getting where you need to be with your loved one on Valentine's Day. Back to you.
Thanks, Mike.
Coming up, saving lives by donating blood.
Details about a local blood drive that's been going strong for more than a decade coming up. Welcome back. Plenty of people use this weekend to help save lives donating blood. St. Joseph and Francis Xavier Parish hosted the 11th annual Super Bowl Sunday blood drive in Wilmette. It's in honor of Kevin Joseph Smith Burke, who died in 2017 from a rare heart condition. He was only 23. The goal was getting 400 units of blood, which organizers say can help save more than 1,200 people.
It's special. For 11 years now, we've run a blood drive here, and the vibrancy of the people in this parish just comes out more and more every year. It's well more than a blood drive.
Everyone who donated blood received a little extra, a Culver certificate for a free pint of custard. They were also entered into a contest to win a $200 gift card, and kids got to do some artwork while their parents donated.
Well, on Sunday, hundreds of people walked in the freezing cold to raise awareness about funding for the homeless. This has happened at Humboldt Park. Chicago could lose $60 million from the federal government after the Trump administration changed its policy regarding money going to sanctuary cities. While that conflict is being handled in court, some providers already lost funding at the beginning of the year.
It has been a long year with lots of bumps and bruises to funding and organizations, and we have to come together to keep the organizations that reflect our values running.
And to bring light to humanity. So we raise funds for these incredible organizations and the light to what really is homelessness, how we can end stigmas, and how we can change the future.
I was once homeless myself. Now I'm employed, but I had to desire not to be homeless. So I worked hard not to be homeless.
This walk comes weeks after a new report came out about the state of homelessness in Chicago. Chicago Coalition to End Homelessness found that the city's homeless population was 3 times higher than what the federal government counted in 2024.
Mayor Brandon Johnson participating in the Lunar New Year kickoff celebration. This is called Light Up Chinatown. The event included traditional lion and dragon dances and colorful lantern displays. The Lunar New Year falls on February 17th.
And apparently, if you needed help picking out the winner for any Super Bowl, all you got to do is head to the Brookfield Zoo Chicago and ask a tarantula. Now, this is Charlotte, the Chilean rose tarantula, who picked the Seahawks to win. The animal care team at the zoo set up a tarantula-sized football field for Charlotte so that she can make her prediction. By the way, second year in a row that she correctly predicted the winner.
Wait a second.
So put some money on the furry guy there.
All right, can someone remind me to look up what Charlotte's doing next year?
Right, exactly. Yeah, what is Charlotte predicted for 2027 Super Bowl? Anybody watch the Puppy Bowl?
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of money on the Puppy Bowl.
Did you? Yeah, I bet you did. I'm going with
Put some money on the cute one. Yeah,
on the cute one. All right, we have quiet morning out there. Temperatures are in the 20s. We're headed for a high very close to 40. A few spots may beat that by a couple of degrees. A few spots may come up a couple of degrees shy. But let's look at the national weather. We don't talk about that an awful lot here. There's not a huge storm going on. Quite cold in the northeast. Wind chill, cold weather advisories there. Parts of New York, Boston. Of course, they're not too happy with the way they're feeling cold today as a result of the game yesterday. Then you've got some issues with the potential of spreading wildfires out there. That's the fire weather warning. In the Sierra, that's where winter weather advisory is. But you don't see, any huge swath of the country really dealing with any significant weather. Let's turn on the national radar, and you can see that there are a few scattered snow showers occurring way to the north there off of Lake Superior. Here's some of the intermountain snows that are taking place out there in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. Probably getting some snow around Yellowstone. But around here, nothing. And I don't expect any big snowstorms at all this week. Today, how about a 40-degree high? And we'll have a nice melt underway with partly sunny skies, south winds at 5 to 15. There will be some pretty thick high clouds coming in this afternoon after perhaps a fairly sunny start to the day. Let's look at the 7-day forecast. Every single day, warmer than normal. Yes, we do back it off of the upper 30s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Small chance of a passing snow shower on Thursday. And then Saturday night into Sunday morning, there can be a little rain or a wet snowflake. But that looks like the majority of that system is going to miss us to the south, with temperatures trending right back up again next week. It is 4 minutes until 5 o'clock. We'll be right back after this.
Venezuela frees a group of prisoners tied to the opposition party against ousted President Nicolas Maduro. At least 30 political prisoners were released, including supporters of Nobel Prize winner and former opposition candidate for president Maria Corina Machado. The country's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, has faced pressure to release the prisoners since Maduro was captured by the U.S. in early January.
A Hong Kong billionaire and critic of the Chinese government is sentenced to 20 years in prison. The ex-media tycoon and founder of the defunct pro-democracy newspaper Apple News received his sentence after being found guilty on 2 national security charges. He's been outspoken against China's tight restrictions on Hong Kong's freedoms in recent years.
The Department of State is cleaning house of its ex-post made before President